everybody.
Hey,
Here we are.
Raymond.
How you doing? Welcome. We happy to be back.
Yes.
Uh, well, today we want to talk about addiction, but not just drug addiction.
Right.
We would like to talk about different addictions
Yeah.
because there's a lot out there.
Yeah. Well,
And
you can get addicted to anything.
absolutely,
Right?
absolutely.
Anything can become an
Yeah.
addiction. Yeah.
You're addicted to food, to gambling. I mean, everything, right?
Anything.
Yeah.
Anything that is a good thing could eventually become an addiction. You could be addicted to negativity. You could be addicted to politics. You could be addicted to the news. You could be addicted to just being sad all the time. You know, you've been hurt so much that you don't know how to feel good. You don't know how to enjoy life, right?
Or how to come out that slump.
How to come out of that slump.
That slump.
Yeah.
You're so used to it
Yeah.
that it's normal.
Yeah.
You walking down the street like,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
how you doing?
Yeah,
I'm okay.
I could be better. Yeah.
You know? I mean, I usually say a sign, but I'm just a troublemaker.
Yes.
You know, hey Victor, how you doing? I could be better. I could be worse.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm really always happy. You
Yeah.
know, and because I've suffered a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's not about me today. It's not, you know,
It's about you.
it's always about me. It's
Yes.
addiction and things like that. So, you know, it's like when you live the life that I live and how I am today,
Right. Right.
I could never say I'm doing bad.
Right.
I couldn't fit my mouth to say that,
Right.
right? Even when I'm going through a situation,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I really can't see it because
Yeah.
no matter how bad I'll be doing now, that something happens to me or whatever, and even my son tells me, you've been there and done that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I caught the cancer, he said, babe, you kicked the drug habit that almost killed you.
Yeah.
You know, you titanium, you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and he inspired me and,
Yeah.
and things like that. So, you know, like, I always say, right, don't ever say, I wish I could be like Victor
Yeah.
or like Miriam. You don't know what we went through
Mhm.
to be where we are today.
Right.
You know, so, and we do that a lot.
Yeah.
When we see somebody and we think they happy and they not. That's an addiction, you know, is how we say, people have different masks,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you see me all the time,
Right.
and once I close that door, we
Right.
start arguing.
Right.
But you know I really believe that's an addiction.
Yeah.
I've seen couples that just fight over nothing.
We used to do that.
Yeah, you know?
No, don't say
Fight
you've
over-
seen
Oh,
couples.
yeah, no.
We used to do
and,
that.
and that's a reality, you know, we keep it real. And
Right, but think about when we very first started, right? So of course we're gonna keep it real and be honest. When we first started, I grew up with a single mom, and I'll never talk bad about my mother. So please don't think I'm going down some dark path to talk bad about my mother. But it was a strict household. It was when I became a teenager. It was two, women with differing opinions. Those of you who have teenagers, right? You go through stuff with your teenagers, and the way we reacted, my mom and I, was we would just shut down and not speak to each other. So I carried that with me into this relationship. So when we first got together, and he likes to talk through everything, and we would get into arguments, dumb arguments that were this small, but we would make them this big.
absolutely.
Because we were offended. We took offense because of whatever baggage we were carrying with us from past relationships or, our lives growing up. And I would just stop speaking to him. And I would get on the phone, which drove him nuts. He'll say you see him shaking his head. I would get on the phone with somebody. You would never know that there was anything wrong in our house because I would be happy-go-lucky talking to them and then hang up, and he would think everything was all right, and I'd look at him and go, I'm not speaking to you. Or we would have people over to the house, right? And I'd be all happy, and we'd all be talking and, having a good time with the people, and he would think that we were in a better place. And when they left, as soon as they closed the door, I was shut down again. Same thing. I'm not speaking to you. So I know all about, putting up a beautiful front, and that was an addiction. We're gonna stay
Of
on the
course.
topic of an addiction because I grew up with that. I didn't know how to be any other way. I didn't know how to reverse that. I didn't, and there was a part of me that didn't want to because I thought I was right. I thought that was the right way to do it.
So you addicted and don't know it.
Right,
So you don't look at it as an addiction.
right,
You look at it like you in your comfort zone.
correct.
Right?
Why
This
would I
is-
want to change
Why
anything?
would I change? He met me like this,
Yeah.
and
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 change,
absolutely.
change is scary, right? If I
absolutely.
change and now I start talking things out, I have to talk about my real feelings. I have to reveal my hurts. I have to change my mind about my behavior. I have to apologize for my behavior. That was hard for me. But it was part of, growing in this marriage, to the point where he was like, and I won't even tell the story again, where he took me to this dark park. He was like, we have to talk, and I thought I was doomed, everybody. But he wanted to really have a serious talk. Like, what are we doing here? Where are we going? We
Pure
have to
darkness.
talk, and that was a wake up call for me. Like, was I in this relationship, in this marriage for the long haul? Like, did I want to be here forever? So, how did I fix that? And I'm not telling you it happened overnight, but slowly, growing up, growing together, wanting to every day, choosing my marriage every single day. Yes, we've grown together and we've gotten to a better place. So, just sharing that as an example of being able to change and step out of, like we keep
Addictive
talking about an
personality.
addictive personality. I've got so many more
So,
addictions to talk
yeah.
about, but
And
for myself.
and the thing with that is, we bring this up because we was talking
Mm-hmm.
about addiction and all that, and our behavior,
Mm-hmm.
how we was addicted to it. Again, when you have an addiction, you don't sometimes even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll give you real quick an example because I brought this up in prison. I said, drug is not a problem, it's a symptom of a problem.
Right.
And this one guy raised his hand up and said, "Nah, I don't have no problem. I just love to get high." And I told him, "Okay." I said, "So you go to a party early in the morning, in the evening, and the disc jockey gotta beg everybody to dance, and everybody's holding up the wall. People sitting down, they're not talking to one another." And I said, "And then you have a few beers, smoke a joint, whatever you do, whatever turns you on, and before you know it, there's commercials and you're still dancing, and you're talking to every girl that you didn't even know."
Mm-hmm.
That's not an addiction,
Right.
right? Being antisocial is an addiction.
Right.
You don't even realize it, And I use Bang Theory for an example. The Indian guy, he could never get a girl when he gets drunk.
Oh, Big Bang Theory, yeah.
And he gets a girl.
And when he
And I
starts
use that
drinking.
as an example. Once
Yeah.
he started drinking, he was definitely going home with a girl, but he couldn't do it while he was sober.
Right.
So it's a pattern that you get used to, right?
Mhm.
And anytime you get used to something, it becomes an addiction.
Right, and you become
So
comfortable,
it came
like
up-
negativity,
Right.
sarcasm. For me, sarcasm is something that I work on a lot because I have a real quick mouth and a quick response to everything. They're sarcastic. I'm definitely like in those commercials, I'm Mr. Obvious or Captain Obvious. I'll come quick with a sarcastic remark, and that's something that I have to temper, but that's an addiction for me, like something that it's fast for me to do and a habit that I have that I'm working to break.
So the thing was, so we was talking and all that, right? And I forgot what I said. And my wife said, "No, negative. We haven't argued or nothing for a lot of
long
years,
time, yeah.
for a long time.
Mhm.
So that became an addiction, right? Not argue.
Yeah,
Not, that's a positive
yeah,
addiction.
yeah.
Still an addiction, right?
Mm.
So the thing is smooth, right? Now, from any little thing that was said became an argument, now is change it into a positive and laugh about it and
Mm.
say, "You're crazy, we're gonna do this again." But I know we're not, And so, yeah, that's the thing. The thing is, you think you know people and you think you know yourself.
Mhm.
And it's funny because sometimes your better half or whatever knows you better than you know yourself. You know, a lot of times I don't realize that something is bothering me and I'm about to explode. And my wife looks at me and tells me, it's not that serious. Let it go. Don't say nothing. And that's, you know, that's, you see, those addictions there for her to know me. Because the thing is that we try to bring out is get to know yourself with these addictions that we have that we don't even realize. You know, because when you have an argument, nobody wants to say, I was wrong,
Right.
right? It's hard to say you're wrong. I've learned today that when I say I'm wrong, I'm a better man because I know myself and I know that what I did was wrong. And there's addictions of eating.
Oh,
We don't want to talk about that because she's going to say I'm talking bad about her.
yeah.
And then when we turn it off,
I'm gonna say
We're
stuff
gonna
and we're gonna argue or whatever. Yeah. So stop. No, but true, right?
Yeah.
And and I keep coming back to it, but just falling into. I love my daughter-in-law. She says the rabbit hole of social media and the news. And you watch one video and then you can't stop watching videos, or you read one post and then you can't stop reading all the negative posts, and you get into all the negativity, and it's so easy to do because it's easy to fall into a habit or routine, but until you realize, and I know again a lot of what I'm speaking about is me, right? Like I have to turn the news off and step away from social media for a couple of days because it's easy for me to get upset and get angry and want to respond, and God tells me no, and he shuts my mouth and takes my hands off the keyboard. To get into that negative frame with everything that's going on, and I know it's hard, right, to find something positive. And I say it's hard because some of us are so stuck in the negative that we don't know how to dig our way out of it.
and we stroll by the positive stuff.
And we scroll by all the positive stuff, and we don't think about the positive stuff that has happened. 2020 has been wow, right? We could easily make a list of all the negative stuff that has happened, but one of the things I'll challenge all of you with today is try to make a list of positive stuff that has happened this year. Try to think of good things that have happened this year. Even if you take the negative and turn it around, so many people have gotten sick. Has my family been safe? Has my family been good? So many people are out of a job. I'm still working every day. My kids are working every day. We've been able to do stuff outside the house. To try all the negative stuff that you're seeing, turn that back around into your life, into what's happening in your life, and see the positive. Positive things are happening to us in addition to all the craziness that's happening in the world.
So what happens is like everything else. When you focus just on the negativity and you hold all your negativity here, you let your blessings go
Yeah,
in the other hand because you don't pay attention to it.
right,
Because you're griping
right,
about what happened to you.
right,
Right? How about if you think about your positives
yeah,
and you start ignoring your negatives?
yeah, right. This happened.
You know what I'm
move
saying?
on. Yeah,
Like okay, an example. So, like I think, right? I mean, everybody thinks different, right? Everybody talks about being locked up in your house and all that. This is one time that about the 15 years I did in jail helped me, right? Because I don't feel like I'm locked up.
yeah,
I was locked up when I was behind bars, and they told me when to go to the bathroom, when to do this, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, and keeping it real, are we really locked up? No, you get to go to the store, you get to do that. And again, let's keep it real, right? Then, like she just finished saying, so many people lost their job. And so many people
didn't.
getting jobs now
Yeah.
that couldn't get jobs before.
Right.
So many people lost their house. How many people have buy houses? So we hear about how many numbers, because through anything that you work with the government, even in your job, everything is numbers.
Right.
Let's keep it real,
Right.
you know, and especially if it's funded, you know, by the government. They want to know what you did with whatever they give you,
Right, right, right.
and you got all. You hear a lot of negative of so many people, and that, for the first time I seen that in the news, and I didn't even speak about it. So many people got sick this day, tested negative, and then they say how many people came out.
Tested
I mean,
positive.
tested
Tested
positive,
positive.
and how many people tested negative,
Right.
and the numbers were like 10 times higher.
Right.
Okay, I understand. We got them numbers.
Oh, it's bad.
But let's look
yeah.
at reality then. It was only a tenth of the people they tested.
Right.
So, you know, so you start thinking like that, you know, that 10 times as much came out negative, that it gives me faith that I could stay on that side.
Gives me hope. Yeah.
You know, it gives you hope. You know, you have hope. Okay, so then 1 out of every 10 got sick.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing we look at. But no, we look at negativity, right? And they give numbers of what have happened in the whole United States,
Yeah.
and the numbers sound real loud. Google it. How many people are in the United States of America? You know, and again,
It's
I'm not
bad.
saying it's bad.
Listen, it's
We're
bad.
not saying it's good.
One was bad.
You know?
Please.
So,
you know,
you know,
one
one
death
is- one
was
is too
bad.
many.
Yes.
One is too
Yes.
many, you know. So the thing with that is to stay right in your mind,
Right.
you know.
Don't sink
And
in. Don't
it's
give
easy
in. Yeah.
for people to talk about, oh, the corona ain't doing nothing and all that because they have it at home, right? And that's what a lot of people think of, and they start taking negativity, you know. Everything is negative for them. Once one person got sick at home,
Yeah.
now they think negative of the whole thing instead of looking for the positive and doing what we got to do, you know? So that's basically what we want to talk. And we just gave you a few of the negativities.
Of just examples of addictions,
Yeah.
different addictions.
Addiction, the reality is, sit down and make a list of how many addictions we have.
What are you addicted to?
I'll probably make another video next week and you're still writing there. Addictions, you
I will
know?
be too.
Huh?
I'll be writing too,
Yeah,
guys.
you know, and it's all of us.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a thing. We do not talk about something we ain't been through.
Yeah.
You know, because we keep it on us.
Yeah.
And like I said, we bring it out there. Maybe this video was for somebody out there that's gonna see it and could identify with it. You know, our thing is that keeping it on a positive note. You know, pray, and pray some more, and look at the good things as well as you're looking at the bad things,
Yeah.
and see the difference,
Amen.
because God says it's gonna always be there.
Amen.
Well, with that, I don't have too much more to say. We want to say thank you for listening to us, talking about negative and positive. When you listen to our video and you want to send a comment, say what you really feel, whether it sounds negative or not. We not have a problem with that, you know, because we learn from our negative. So when you say something, how you felt, it don't be that you're saying negative about us. We learn from it. Thank you so much. You have a great day. God bless you and your family. And hopefully we'll see you next week. God bless. Bye.